In this video, I want to show you how to manage tasks in Neovim the same way that you manage them in Obsidian. And I will dare to say that probably a little bit better. What you see on the screen right now is Neovim. This is where I edit all my Markdown. But before using Neovim, I used Obsidian for a long time, for quite a few years. I love the tool, and it was definitely the best thing that happened to me back then. So how can you manage tasks in Obsidian? Notice that I have here several different tasks in this file, right? So I'm just going to grab my mouse because I don't know how to mark tasks. I haven't used Obsidian in a while. So I'm just going to do it with my mouse. Let's say that I want to mark a few tasks as done. Just click here. Just going to click on this one, here, here, and here. All of these tasks are done now, and it automatically shows me the date in which they were marked as done. That's nice, and it's quite useful. If I switch back to Neovim, I can see those tasks here marked as done as well. Notice that I can see the little X next to them, and I can see this little icon and the date as well. So I wanted to do what I just did here in Obsidian. I wanted to replicate it in Neovim. So that's what we're going to go over in this video. Let me just unmark the tasks that I marked as done. Just going to uncheck all of these because I'm going to show you how I do that in Neovim. So if we switch back to Neovim, you're going to notice that I'm going to press a keymap here. This is Alt on my keyboard. So if I press Alt-X, you're going to notice that at the bottom of the file, a new heading was automatically created and the task was moved there. Notice that I have this other task here. They could stay in the same place and just toggle them like in Obsidian, but that interferes with my skitty-notes workflow. So let me show you what I mean by this. On the right-hand side of the screen, you won't see kitty. If I type this key on my keyboard, the right arrow, it's automatically going to switch to that app. I use a carabiner mapping to be able to do that. So what is this? Notice that this is just the Kitty terminal app, and I'm running Neovim inside of it. It's a modified version of my Neovim configuration in which I disabled some plugins and stuff like that. So this is where I keep my to-do notes, right? So let's say that, for example, here I want to fold the headings. I have a keymap for that, folds them already, and I have to-do items here. So if, for example, I open this heading here, you're going to see some items that I have to complete. So when the item is done, I don't want it to be kept in there because it just occupies space. So I just want it to be moved somewhere else. That's the exact reason why I'm moving the notes or the tasks to another section when they are done, right? So here, I just explained to you what this app is for. I just marked this as done, and it moves it to the bottom. Since this is Markdown, all of my keymaps apply. Notice that I even have a Reddit link here in this task. So if I type here GX, that's going to open my browser and take me to that specific site. So I'm just going to mark this as done as well. Remember that for that is Alt-X. I'm going to show you how I configure all of these keymaps in a little while. Notice that the text is formatted here. I have some inline code. I have some bold text. Notice that this task spans across multiple lines. So it doesn't matter where I'm at on this task. I'm just going to type Alt-X and it's just going to mark it. Move it to the completed section. Just going to fold my headings and let's go back here. We have another task. Just so that you're aware that in this app, all of my Neovim Markdown keymaps work. Just going to mark this as done. Here's a link to my .dot files. Notice that it even shows me the icon for GitHub there. I can mark this as done too. I can even view images, just the way that you see this image here. If you want to learn more about this skitty-notes app, I have a video. I released this video yesterday. So if you're a Neovim user and would like to implement what you see on the right-hand side, go and check this video out. I explain step by step how to set everything up. Okay, so coming back to this file, notice that the completed tasks show at the bottom of the file in this other section. What if this task is not done anymore? Notice the time in which it was completed, 6/14, today's date. If I press the same keymap here again, Alt-X, notice that it adds a different label. It says untoggle. And if I type on this other one, Alt-X, notice that it's also going to be untoggled. What happens if I want to mark this other task as done? Just going to type here, Alt-X. It marked it as done. It didn't move it anywhere else. And it just updated the time, which is what I want. I mean, that's fine, but what if you have tasks across multiple files? Like the file that I'm working on here, you can see it at the very top of the screen. For every file in the video, you can see its path here. This is the test-markdown.md file. It's in my Obsidian repo, or my Obsidian folder, we could say. So what if I want to see all of the not done tasks in this Obsidian repo? I have two other keymaps. The one that I showed you right now was Alt-X. And this is the one that I use to mark tasks as done, right? So that's how I toggle and untoggle them. So if I press Alt-X here, it's going to mark this as completed. But notice that I also have this leader+tt keymap and leader+tc. Let me first bring up this leader+tt. Leader is just space for me. Notice that it shows me all of the tasks that are not completed across multiple files. You can see the name of the file here on the left. This is the test markdown.md file. This is for the Sunday daily note file, Friday daily note file. So if I scroll down here on these different tasks, I can see them on the right-hand side. Notice that I can see each one of them. I can read them. I can go through different tasks. Let's mark a few as done. And I'm going to show you where those completed tasks show up. So I'm just going to hit enter here to go to this file. And it's here inside. Alt-X, mark this as done. Alt-X, mark this as done. Just have an empty header here. Just going to delete it. I don't want to have it there anymore because it's empty. If I type leader+tt again, notice that those two tasks are gone. What if we press the other keymap that I showed in this file, the bottom of this file? Notice that I also have leader+tc, and that is to show the completed tasks. Leader+tc, you're going to notice the ones that I just marked right now. This is one of them, and this is the other one. Notice the file that these are in, test markdown. I have some other tasks that were marked as done here. In this other file, Friday, I have 3 tasks that were also marked as done. I'm just going to show you how to configure these keymaps in a little while. You're also going to notice that I have another keymap. If I type -tr, that automatically takes me to my daily note. So it doesn't matter what app I'm on. I could be on the browser, for example. And if I quickly want to jump to my daily note, I just type -tr, and it's automatically going to take me there. If you want to learn how I do this, I have a video. It's this one. I explain how I set up things in detail. Notice that I'm in a different file here. You can see it at the top. This is today's daily note. So I just want to show you that you don't need to keep the tasks in a single file. Notice that this is inside my Obsidian directory. So it's just going to search for all the tasks in this directory. So if I'm taking notes here, for example, and I just remember that I need to add a task, I just add it here. Random task in daily note. So if I switch back to my other file, this file that I was on before, and I bring up the tasks, you're going to notice here that it shows up. Here it is, random task in daily note. Right? So I can open this. I go back to this file. I can mark this task as done, Alt-X. I can also mark this other one as done. And then I can also mark this other one as done. So I don't need to move or have all the tasks in the same file. If I bring up leader+tc right now, they are going to show up as completed tasks. So notice that they show up in this Sunday file because that's where they were at, right? So the rest of them are just here. The first time that I created this keymap to mark tasks as done, I moved them to another file in a different directory. So I had another directory that was called done in the same directory where the file lives, but it was just too much. I just decided to keep the tasks that are completed in the same file at the bottom of it. So I can mark this as done. I switched from Obsidian to Neovim probably, I don't know, a few months ago. I don't remember exactly how long ago, and I never looked back. I have a video in which I explain why I switched from Neovim to Obsidian. This video was released 4 months ago. So if you want to learn more, if you want to understand a little bit more, go and check it out. And you're going to find more details there. Now I just want to show you this other keymap, Alt-L. Let's say that I'm working here in a file that doesn't have any tasks. Let's say that I'm taking a note here. And I quickly want to turn this into a task. If I type Alt-L, notice that it turned it into a task. And I can take a note here. I can add a task here. Let's say that I'm writing at a different section. I'm just going to leave some space here, some lines. And I'm just getting ready to type something here. But I remember that it's a task. If I type here Alt-L, it's going to create the task again. So this is going to be task 2. And I hit enter here. Notice that even if I have a bullet point on the left-hand side, if I type Alt-L, it's just going to not add the whole thing, but just add the symbols so that it becomes a task. So this is task 3. So that's what the Alt-L keymap does. I'm just going to mark these tasks as done. Just want to get rid of them. And I'm going to delete this here. I'm going to show you all these keymaps in a little while. When we go over the configuration, I'm going to let you know where these are. Just going to mark this as done now as well. We already went through leader+tt, so you can see all of the tasks that are not completed. Leader+tc to show you the tasks that are completed. And now I just want to show you how I configure these keymaps. If you want to learn about all my Markdown keymaps, all the Markdown tips that I have, well, that I had 6 months ago, this video is still quite relevant. It's 48 minutes long, but I explain basically each one of the Markdown keymaps that I use and all the plugins. So if you want to learn more about Markdown editing in Neovim, go and check it out. I highly recommend it. So now let me show you how this is configured. So let me jump to my .files latest directory. I have a keymap for that, -tj. And you're going to notice here that this is my keymaps.lua file. This is the first keymap that you need to grab. It starts from here, and it ends where you find a space. So if I type here shift, close square bracket, it's going to select the entire key map. So this is what you need to grab if you want the first key map. I left some variables here at the very top of the file because I do understand that not everyone wants to have this label as done when you mark a task as done. Like for example, if I switch here to the right, I'm just going to fold all these and I'm just going to go to the completed tasks. This label here, done, colon, you can modify that here if you want. If you want to customize the timestamp format, this is the way that I have it. Just show the hour and minutes. But if you only want to have the date without the time, or if you want to include seconds here as well, you can do that. And this is the heading that gets created where all the tasks are moved to. So these are the 3 things that you can modify from this key map. And if we scroll down here, you're just going to find the code with comments of what this key map does. So just basically copy and paste that. Let's move on to the next key map. I'm just going to search here for M, which is Alt-L. And here it is, create task or checkbox. This is way smaller. Notice that you can run this key map from normal, visual, or insert mode. Let me open this file in Neovide so you can see how Neovide works. I have a key map for that as well. Now let me search for the next key map. So I'm just going to hit search here and I'm just going to type leader+tt. That's the next one. Just going to hit enter here. Here is the key map. This is what iterates through the incomplete tasks in Telescope. Notice that I'm using the getIv theme. I'm just repping for a string, as you can see here on the left-hand side. This is the title of the prompt. This is what I'm searching. It has to start with this, and it needs to have this pattern. This is what I'm searching for, and I'm just searching in the current working directory, and I'm starting in normal mode. Here you can specify the size of the preview. So if I jump back to my Obsidian nodes, hyper-tu, that's the key map that I have, leader+tt, that's all that you see here. The prompt, the size of the preview, the type of preview, which is Ivy, and it's automatically searching for that pattern. So let's go back to Neovide. The next key map, you can see it here at the bottom, leader+tc. If I scroll down here a little bit, you're going to notice that it's basically the same thing, but I'm just searching for a different pattern. So I'm just searching for this, done. So that's how I find all of the tasks that are done. The nice thing about Neovim is that it's highly configurable. So if you don't like the way that I do things, you can grab these key maps, modify them to your liking. You don't have to depend on someone else creating and maintaining a plugin. You can just do things yourself and however you want. If you don't know what Neovide is, it's just a Neovim GUI. It's the app that you see on the screen right now. I created a video about Neovide. It has a lot of use cases. It's not just something aesthetic. If you want to learn more about Neovide, how I use it, and what it's useful for, go and check this video out. All right, so let me jump back to Ghosty. I'm just going to jump back to my Obsidian nodes. Just going to quit out of here. And I already showed you about the configuration part. If you have any improvements, if you have any suggestions on the key maps, if you have new ideas, please let me know down in the comments so that me and others can learn and get some inspiration out of your comments. So just please make sure that you leave them down below. There's a very popular question in my Neovim video, and something that a lot of people have asked about is about this Dataview plugin for Neovim. This is not a plugin that I use, so I honestly don't know how to implement in Neovim. I did use it in Obsidian for a couple times, but it was too much. I didn't want my Markdown nodes to be depending in a tool like Obsidian, because these are just Markdown files. I just want to move them around from Obsidian to Neovim. I don't know if Neovim is the tool that I'm going to be using in the future for editing Markdown. Could be something else. So I don't want to add extra stuff like a database or whatever that other plugin does to query stuff. I don't even remember what it does and how it does it. I don't have any plans to implementing something like Dataview for now. But if you do know how to do it in Neovim, please share a comment down below, because that's a very common question that a lot of people that use Dataview seem to have. Notice here on the right side that I had this outline the entire video. I can hide it with space O and I can show it back with space O. It allows me to quickly jump between different Markdown headings, the same way that I did in Obsidian back in the day. So if I just come here to this heading, for example, images in Neovim, I unfold this, render HTML images, so I can quickly jump between the headings. That's what this is for. If you want to learn more about this, I have a video. It's quite old, to be honest, and the quality is not the best. One of my first videos, but still relevant, and you're still going to find helpful information in there. It's just 2 minutes long, so go and check it out. Okay, so I think I did cover everything that I needed to cover in this video. If you have suggestions, if you have ideas, if you have questions, comments, leave them down below. If you want to support me, share my channel, share the video. Hope this was useful. I'll see you in the next video.